from Inky&Scrappy. Welcome back to all of my subscribers. If you're new here, please consider subscribing as it alerts you when new stuff goes up on the channel. I am using MFT's Alpine Friends again in my final card of my series today. I also brought in Trinity Stamps giant mug card. So it ends up being an A2 sized card. I'm sure it's a little smaller than A2, but it's a fairly good sized mug, as you can see there. And I die cut it once out of white, and then I die cut another one out of a piece of, I don't know the color, but it's definitely very close to Uncharted Mariner because I end up pulling in a different ink color. So because my lineup skills aren't always on par, I do like to go around the edge of my white card base with a matching color or a close to matching color, so it kind of blends it a little bit. And it's not quite as noticeable if I'm not exactly on target. It happens. I wanted to go on the outside with something a little bit lighter, kind of make a sky, and that Uncharted Mariner was definitely the same color, maybe a little bit darker than my mug color, and so I did bring in, I want to say it was Salty Ocean, Broken China to give it a little bit of a lighter look. It will dry back a little bit darker than what you see on screen. And because I want some clouds, I'm going to come in with Hero Arts Unicorn Pigment ink, and I smushed that on my work surface so I don't get that blue ink to transfer onto my ink pad. I did end up having to actually wash my brush after this one. I don't wash my brushes much, but my white one probably gets washed the most. But I saved that one just for white, and that's all I do with it because I don't want to contaminate my white ink pad. I'm adding a hill cut with that same die and then a Lawn Fawn stitched hillside upside down in some lava holographic paper from Crescent Creations. And then I'm going to take my sweatshirt and wipe off my inky surface because I couldn't find my towel. Don't ask. That's why it's, a home sweatshirt, not a good one. So I'm going to add that onto my card base. I probably shouldn't have done that step yet, because I'm also going to add in my coffee or my latte to the inside of my mug here. It is just some Distress ink colored cardstock. Nothing fancy. It's what I have on hand in my background bin that I used for that one. So I should have wrapped the twine around the top of my mug first before I attached it to my card base. So I'm kind of wiggling it in there and making it work for me. It would have been a lot easier if I wouldn't have attached it to the card base, and I could have ran it around the top quick and then just tied a bow around the handle. So as you see, I am just trying to haberdashery it. I don't know. I want to know what I want to say, but I can't say it because this is a kid show. So yeah, I struggle busted here and ended up bringing in another piece, tying that one to it, and just making it work. I made it work. It's all good. I got a bow in the end, but it would have definitely been easier to do that step prior to gluing it onto my card base. It happens. So once I tie my bow and I'm mostly happy with it, I am going to put a drop of glue there just to make sure that it all stays and sticks together because it's not a normal bow. Yeah. And then for my little critters in their little ski lift, I'm going to add that onto my string. So I am bringing in a glue dot. I think they're glue lines. So some glue lines, and then I fold over part of that plastic release so I can cut it in half without it sticking to my scissors. And then I'm just going to bring in a couple of more glue lines here. Since they're out and on my desk, I'm just going to work with what I have sitting right in front of me. And this way I don't have to worry about my ink not being totally dry yet when it comes to double-sided adhesive not sticking the greatest. I will add a little bit of glue on the back here so that I have a little bit of wiggle room on the placement. And of course, it'll make sure it sticks extra good. So once I have that one on there, I need to figure out what I'm going to do for a sentiment. So I had kind of hemmed and hawed with sentiment if I wanted to do it on like a flag type thing. And then I decided, no, I wanted to put it right on that hilly slope, or that glitter. I shouldn't say it's glittery. It's a glossy slope. So of course I'm going to have to come in with some Staz-On ink. I maybe could have tried a pigmented ink and let it sit and hope that it dried. I don't like to heat holographic paper. It tends to, that glossy coat on it just, it doesn't work the greatest. You have to hit it fast, and I'm not great at making sure it's, you know, or maybe you're supposed to hit it slow and low. I don't know. But the last time I did heat embossing on my holographic paper, you could kind of tell. So I wasn't going to risk that with this one, since it's kind of, you know, a simpler design and or card, so it would definitely stick out. So I did end up double stamping that with my Staz-On ink in my Misty stamping tool here. Made sure all of my things were gonna stay where they were supposed to stay. And then of course I'm going to do the inside of my card, since I have it out and ready to go, because this one's a thank you. So I just wanted to do something that was in that coffee realm. And I am also using MFTs, one of their new coffee sentiment stamps. I will list it below. I have to go and dig it out and find it, because I don't remember what it's called offhand. So you're a lot like coffee. I can't function without you. Does anyone else have a coffee addiction? Is it an addiction, or is it just a true love affair? I don't know. I like coffee. I am coming back in with my Jelly Roll Black glaze pen and putting little dots on for the eyes, and I think the little bear's noses. I did mess up on the one bear. And so the thing about the Jelly Glaze pen is if you mess up, patience, grasshopper. So I did hold off and I let it dry. It's so hard for me to just let it not try to, yeah, see here, and then I'm like, nope. I just have to let it dry a little bit, and then once it's dry, you can go in with a pick of some sort and just pick off. It's kind of like embossing powder, where if it's once it's dry, you can kind of scrape it off, and it'll come off okay. And that's what I did. So I just waited, picked it off, and then I went over it again. And then of course we needed to add a little bit of glitter or shimmer. So I brought in a Stardust pen from, I think it's Jelly Roll Stardust pen. Sakura? I don't know. Anyways, you know, a little bit of glitter is always a good thing. And then I realized that I had forgot to color my wheels on the top of my ski lift there. So I came back in and did those as a final finishing touch. And that is my fourth and final card with the Alpine Friends stamp set from MFT. If you missed the previous ones, go back and check them out. Otherwise, I will be back soon with a new stamp set series. I haven't picked my new stamp set yet, but I have a couple of ideas. All right, well, keep getting inky, and we'll see you next time.